The following is an exclusive presentation of the NCCU Sports Network.
Jonathan Duran here from the NCCU Sports Network, live from NCCU Fall Camp. So we get ready for the start of the new year. The front four for North Carolina Central was disruptive last year, and these are the two coaches that headed up the front four for the Eagles.
We moved Trey down to be a defensive end. He was a linebacker last year. We saw from him that he could move really well, and that's one of the things that we want off our edge is speed and athletic ability to get off that edge and to create some havoc and getting the quarterback's view and all that stuff. So that's what we moved Trey to linebacker, and then we moved from Coach Bradley. He did a heck of a job with Antonio Brown, getting him right, and so we moved Antonio out to be the bandit, a little bit more physical defensive end, but still a guy to come off that edge and pressure the pass rusher. And I think right now our depth right now is a lot deeper than it was last year with those two, and then the backups is Freddie, Henry Ajuda, and Richard Mitchell, who's come along. They both are starting to learn what we're asking out of them, the pressure off the edge, and being able to get consistent pass rush. You ain't always going to win, but collapse the pocket, get the offensive tackles in the quarterback's face, make that quarterback be nervous, and that's what we try to preach, and that's what we try to do around here. You
mentioned Antonio Brown. Talk about how his transition has gone and how the other ends have been able to help him make the transition.
Well, I mean, we graduated both starting ends, so it really was. He came over. He took the job by the horns, and it became his as soon as day one. He stepped out there, and he was a physical presence on the edge, which replaces what Felix Small was last year for us. And Trey Smith was an athletic body. He took over for Ty Brown. And so Antonio's just a physical guy that's an athletic, physical guy. And, he's still learning the ins and outs. Interior stuff happens a lot quicker on the outside. Second, third step is when we finally get to make our pass rush moves. So he's coming along a lot better. His pass rush moves are a lot more advanced in the fall than it were in the spring.
Who are some of the players that we should keep our eye on throughout the rest of the year?
The main guys, Trey and Antonio, and then you got Richard Mitchell and Freddie are going to be their backups. Neil Williams and Stephen Gibson and Destin Underwood are the guys we got rolling in. So we got 7 in camp, and they're all doing their own part.
Let's bring it inside the defensive line now. The bigger guys in the middle making the push towards the quarterback. How have they been able to get it done so far during practice?
It's been a work in progress. All of them coming along well. Got a lot of guys back that played a lot of meaningful snaps for us last year and helping us do what we did last year. So everything's coming together. Who
has stood out so far during the training camp for North Carolina Central so far?
So far, it's been my main two, Josh Wade and Jaquan Smith. Both been, continuing to build on what they did last year as far as, getting up the field, penetrating, helping push the quarterback out toward the ends and things of that nature. But, along with them, Roger Hass and Sproul end up, getting a little nicked up. But, everybody's doing a good job and just holding their own.
So you had the players that have carried over from last year. How have they been able to help coach up the younger players coming in so far during camp?
That's been the luxury of my room. Really, we only got one new player in my room. So a lot of it is a lot of recall for them and helping our young fella Cyrus stand back. Everybody chipping in, explaining things to him has been real helpful for him.
So who are some of the players that North Carolina Central fans should be looking out for this year?
I think it's going to be a good year for hopefully all of them, just doing the little stuff that they do best. Mainly Josh Wade, getting off the ball, penetrating along with Jaquan Smith anchoring that middle and, letting the backers do what they do best in this roam and make tackles. So.
North Carolina Central's front four last year, one of the best units in the league at getting to the quarterback, and we'll see how well they do this year. Live from NCCU training camp, Jonathan Duran from the NCCU Sports Network.
This has been an exclusive presentation of the NCCU Sports Network.